Story 1. Outdoor Boys is very knowledgeable about the outdoors and seems like a genuinely good person. Story 2. Future Canoe. Best cooking channel ever. Featuring only a Ligma fork, never-ending raclette, and all the radioactive chicken you can eat. Story 3. I really love summoning Salt. He has an entertaining way of diving deeply into speedruns. Even games I have never played are interesting to watch, despite the videos being quite long. He brings you up to speed, and what I like is that he gives a clear sense of how incredible the runs are in terms of optimization and execution. The Tetris video is highly recommended. Story 4. Any Austin makes videos about video games, kind of. Instead, he meanders through the mundanity created by the questions he asks in his video essays. For example, where do all the rivers in Skyrim come from? What is the unemployment rate in Solitude? These are questions players are not supposed to be thinking about. This adds a fun twist. His videos are 15 to 20 minutes long, and he has playlists available. This type of content is perfect for falling asleep to. Story 5. Ryan George. His pitch meetings and other videos are entertaining. He is a funny person with the Canadian wit and charisma of Ryan Reynolds. Story 6. Joe Scott covers many well-researched topics. Story 7. Atrocity Guide. A great storyteller of bizarre stories with a soothing voice. My favorite video of hers is about Bob's Game. Barely sociable and slightly sociable. Similar to Atrocity Guide. My favorite video by him is on his second channel, Slightly Sociable. It covers the emergency call of a woman named Ruth Price. Okay, so, made an excellent documentary on the movie Food Fight, and has produced several other interesting videos. Fanboy Flicks, a straightforward bad movie review channel. He has been uploading some of the movies he reviews. Andrea's Fashion Galaxy, a fashion channel run by a personable host who is fun to watch. She has a very large wardrobe. Avery Talks About Stuff, a relatively small channel. She shares my obsession with the show Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. Frederick Knudsen makes very long videos about interesting subjects. He made a 5-hour video about EVE Online, a massively multiplayer online game, but my favorite of his is the video on the Final Fantasy house. Emma in the Moment makes videos about craft-related drama. I stumbled into that rabbit hole this year. It's very deep. Jackie Druchko, a character designer who talks about animation and art-related topics. She also made a short film on her channel. Blamiten George, one of my oldest subscriptions. He's gone through several phases but generally produces horror, creepy internet, lost media, and mystery content. Bernie Vids. He creates documentary-style essays about internet history and niche pop culture history. My favorite videos are his pieces on Low-Tax and the Tiny Toon Stalker. Defunctland makes videos about former theme park rides and the history of theme parks. I hate everything. I think he's lost interest in his channel, which bums me out because he used to be my favorite YouTuber. My favorite videos by him were his search for the worst movie reviews. Cynical Reviews, another movie reviewer who occasionally covers other topics, similar to I Hate Everything. Your Movie Sucks makes movie reviews. He banned me on 2 of his subreddits for saying he can't take criticism, which he can't, but I still watch him despite his ego. He makes good content. Dream Jelly makes videos about nostalgia for the 2000s, covering topics like old Flash games, the Scholastic Book Fair, and Kid Pics. Kylie Bogley makes videos about internet mysteries and lost media. I'm very into lost media, so there's a pattern. Ralph the Movie Maker, another YouTuber who seems disillusioned with creating content, but he has some hilarious videos in his backlog. Lopsy, a woman from the Netherlands living her best cottagecore life. I believe she recently had a baby. Lady Emily produces video essays on various topics, such as Channel Awesome and the Gorillas. Little Bubby Child, an animator who makes very funny shorts I would describe as reflections of growing up in Kentucky. I hope Adult Swim notices him because I want a full series. Matt Draper makes videos about movies and other pop culture. My favorite video by him is about DreamWorks. Lowercase Jai, a video essayist. My favorite video by him is about 2.5 Men. Mermaid Grove, shares my obsession with kitchen nightmares and makes videos about the episodes and what happened to the restaurants afterward. Oki's Weird Stories. He has continued to put more effort into his work and makes videos about strange stories. My favorite is the video about Terry Tilly, Rebel Taxi, an animator who makes many videos about animation, especially from the 1990s and 2000s. He shares my love for Cartoon Network and is one of my oldest subscriptions. Salmonella Academy makes very funny videos about random topics. His animations are simple but effective, like a less angry grade A under A. Pigeon Doll. Artist, fashion designer, and doll designer. He recently did a drawing every day for Halloween. Shea Valley. Similar to Kylie Bogley, covering lost media and strange internet stories. Channel Surfer. A great video essayist with wildly varied YouTube views. Some videos have hundreds of thousands of views while others have very few. He makes videos about topics such as movie studios, SNCC, Saturday Night Nickelodeon, and lost media. Yesterworld makes videos about topics like the history of the Howard the Duck movie, the rise and fall of Showbiz Pizza, and other theme park history. I sometimes confuse him with Defunctland. Story 8 Mr. Ballin. Thoughty 2. Scary Interesting. Bright Sun Films. Oceanliner Designs. I get excited when I see new videos from any of these. Story 9. Great Art Explained and its sister channel Great Books Explained. Story 10. Brain Blaze. I cannot explain why I like it. The host is equally puzzled about its popularity. It gets especially good when things go off the rails. Story 11. Watching Matt Armstrong rebuild cars with his dad and friends is really soothing after a long day of work, especially with their United Kingdom accents and humor. Story 12. Forestry. Amazing photography around British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. He lives in a van, climbs mountain peaks, and performs trail maintenance. I do not care so much about the van life aspect, but it is interesting nonetheless. Story 13. Escape to rural France. A man is renovating a 100-year-old chateau that burned down 40 years ago. Story 14. Daily dose of the internet, especially to get me through the next 4 years. I just need a laugh. Story 15. Tom's Modeling in Motion. Stop motion videos of the most amazing model kit builds. The detail is incredible. Story 16. Internet Today. Cooking with Dog. Rest in peace, Francis. Story 17. Ryan George Pitch Meeting. Anthony Vincent, formerly known as 10-Second Songs. There I Ruined It. Story 18. Andrew Camarada started out as a time-lapse landscaper, but now builds castles and owns many large machines such as excavators and rock crushers. He gets a lot done and is very impressive. Story 19. It has become a little repetitive lately, in my opinion, but I still love regular car reviews to death. Story 20. Pete Santinello's page is excellent. He is a documentarian who visits places and meets people, showing sides of those places and people you may not have known. He presents his subjects with an unbiased, kind perspective. It is a great watch. Story 21. Video Game Donkey has been around for a long time and is still making great reviews. Story 22. For now, Cody's Lab. I have been watching all his videos. I am now watching ones from 6 years ago. In general, I watch science YouTubers and also Penguins Zero. Story 23. The Fat Electrician. Brilliantly hilarious history lessons. Story 24. Johnny Builds. That Chapter. Sandy Brock. Sheepishly Me. The Clever Cowgirl. Night Docs. Story 25. I love How to Basic. It is a channel with great tips and tricks for the whole family to enjoy. Story 26. Manly Badass Hero is like how Markiplier was to me years ago. Story 27. Nerd of the Rings. It is Lord of the Rings lore, and the host's voice is so soothing that it helps me fall asleep at night. Story 28. It is excruciating because Jubilee is melting my brain with its stupidity. It has become a guilty pleasure because I enjoy watching people act inadequately educated. Major scientific facts are argued as if they have not been established, and opinion bias is used to justify theory-based claims. I could go on. Story 29. Curious Droid has been very interesting, and the Mythbusters channel is too. Story 30. Matt Armstrong is a British car enthusiast who, together with his father and crew, rebuilds wrecked salvage title sports cars and supercars. His charisma and camera presence are perfect. The shows are engaging and a real treat to watch. Story 31. Dry bar comedy. Don't get me wrong, where I grew up, fuck and shit were words hanging on the walls of kindergartens next to apple and water, but it's nice to have clean comedy you can watch with the whole family, based on humor rather than shock value. I often need comic relief in my life. Story 32. Creaky Blinder spends a lot of time showing how ridiculous flat earthers are. Just the accent, maybe. Story 33. Watching the Ariel or Hats Off productions are both great video essayists who seem to make videos about things they are passionate about instead of content for views like 99% of YouTube. Story 34. New Rockstars breaks down every episode of your favorite shows and movies, especially Marvel films. Story 35. Neebs Gaming creates incredible cinematic videos with a group of argumentative loonies. Even after the death of Thick 44, they are still very fun. Story 36. Ray Narvaez Jr. is a Twitch streamer who posts video on demand recordings on YouTube. He has been playing Mario Party with friends and virtual YouTubers. Raren and Covert Go Blue play card games together. Raren plays Hearthstone and Covert Go Blue plays Magic. They make videos together in which they show each other cards from their games and guess whether those cards are good. Story 37. Noel Phillips is always interesting. I traveled on the Indian Pacific across Australia with him and found him to be a great bloke. Story 38. Arvin Haddad reacts to and critiques tours of mega mansions. Not very relevant to me, but I find it interesting. Neebs Gaming is a group of friends goofing around. They have great chemistry and usually play games I've played. Rest in peace, Thick 44. Story 39. Cowboy Kent Rollins cooks some good food. Story 40. The Y-Files. I love his videos and the way they are presented. Story 41. Bald and Bankrupt uploads infrequently, but when he does, the videos are great and eye-opening. His friend Harold B. Peter's Chinese series is crazy. I like travel channels that go to places I would never go. Story 42. Mr. Ballin. Jacksepticeye. Gaps Molders. And the one with galvanized square steel that I often just find randomly. Story 43. Dare Wears. Scott Manley. Refashioned Hippie. Cheathams with Dreams. Gels Marble Runs. Story 44. There is a certain kind of bliss from watching Perkins Builder Brothers. Those guys make the job look so much fun that it has me wondering about my choice of work. Story 45. So you want to get fat. Story 46. Dr. Rina Malik offers straight talk on all things related to sexuality. The people making laws that affect our bodies should be required to learn this material. Story 47. Little Chinese Everywhere is a travel blog whose presenter is very friendly and shows a side of China and other places that I do not often see portrayed. Her editing, music selection, drone footage, and more are all really nice. Story 48. Alan Milliard's motorcycle build videos are incredibly relaxing despite him creating the most mental machines imaginable. Story 49. 4 aviation live streams. I would go with Los Angeles flights, airline videos Live, Mr. Gaucho, and Cali Planes. For aircraft maintenance, Stig Aviation. For trick shots, you cannot go wrong with Dude Perfect and How Ridiculous. I have a lot of different interests and the right YouTube channels for them. Story 50. Pacific Northwest Hillbilly. Story 51. Film Cooper. Calmecres. Mr. Ballin. Mr. Nightmare. Ben of the Week. Hubidb. Eric Tabach. Oompaville. Oompa Television. Mama Dr. Jones. Dr. Mike. Dr. Yoon. Lazy Masquerade. Nick Crowley. Alta. Story 52. Rain is my favorite Guilty Gear content creator. He makes really wacky videos that are fun to watch. Story 53. I recently discovered Exurb 1A. Right now I am in a phase where I am binging all of his videos. Story 54. Noah Caldwell Gervais does not upload regularly, but every video is worth a year's uploads from anyone else. His retrospectives and analyses of games and series are presented with such excellent context that they elevated my view of games as art. His video on Wolfenstein is the best summation of the history of video games I have ever seen. Story 55. Technology Connections. Idacars. Rainman Ray's Repairs. Noel Phillips. Story 56. Bomber Guy only releases one video a year, but when he does it is excellent. Death Battle, Russian Badger, and Jaden Animations are channels I will always watch. I can watch pitch meetings over and over again. Story 57. Geo Wizard. Outdoor Boys. Beard Meets Food. Hatfidms. Practical Engineering. The B1M. Sorted Food. Food Insider. Matt Men. Daniel Steiner. Story 58. I watch all of the Hermitcraft crew. I especially watch Itho and Smallish Beans. They are both awesome. I have also started watching other content creators from various Minecraft events, such as Sandwich Lord, A Cookie God, Feinberg, and Firebreathman. Story 59. Aging Wheels, Cathode Ray Dude, Lindy Beige, Magnify, Modern History Television, and so much more. I love history, science, and technical topics. Story 60. Ryan George. Mr. Ballin. Why Files. Stoned Gremlin, Cinema Snob. Story 61. Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell YouTube. Story 62. Joe Santagato of Santagato Studios is very funny. Story 63. Sam Reed creates review-based content that is almost like a variety show. For someone in that space, he has a lot of heart. He is wholesome, and his content seems genuine. I highly suggest checking him out if you have not. Story 64. Perkins Builder Brothers are worth watching if you are interested in anything construction related. They are very down to earth, show their mistakes and how to overcome them, and demonstrate great camaraderie. Story 65. Peter Santinello produces refreshingly insightful videos. His laid-back way of documenting places the media rarely visits makes his work approachable. He is even-keeled and restrained in his opinions. In interviews, he puts the spotlight on people, patiently lets them share their views, and never rushes to respond, allowing conversations to unfold organically. I started binge-watching his videos months ago and quickly became a fan. He seems like a really cool person to chat with, and I hope he visits my city sometime to film a video. Story 66. Geology Hub. 5-minute bites about volcanoes, impact craters, current events, and other geology topics. Fresh daily and narrated by a trained geologist with a natural voice. History Time and Pete Kelly, the same creator, feature a perfect narration voice and excellent history videos. Cutting-edge engineering. As an industrial mechanic, I can confirm Curtis knows his stuff. As a former miner, he has broken rock before. Karen, the camera woman, is a gem, and there are regular shots of Homie, the shop dog. The history guy is like Bill Nye for history. Practical Engineering with Grady is one of the best large-scale engineering shows I have ever seen. Naiad's Aqua is very appealing, a total nerd dream, and very calming. Story 67. Veritasium. Smarter Every Day. Undecided with Matt Farrell. Kyle Hill. Arizona State University. Brick Sculpt. Fact or Fantasy. Full Motion Videos. In Deep Geek. Kemui Cosplay. Louis Zome. Mitch Builds. Moser Makes. My Mechanics. Public Broadcasting Service Spacetime. Practical Engineering. Runesmith. Settled. The Lasso Hobbier. Tirzu. Wow Krender. Story 68. I guess Papa Meat. He is genuinely funny and not afraid to be a little offensive with his humor. Story 69. Beard Meets Food. 8 to 13-minute videos are perfect when I sit down to eat. Story 70. Outdoor Boys. Luke, his wife, and his kids make great videos. I feel like I know them, laughing out loud. They are knowledgeable, practical, and funny. I have a 4-year-old who loves camping and being outdoors, so the videos give us great ideas and activities to try. Story 71. Mr. Nightmare, Mr. Ballin, Jake Weber, and Naomi John. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.